Moly, 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 you are so ready for a chemistry test. You have developed some sweet skills in this area of mole calculations. Let's go through the review sheet for the test and just look at a few things. Number one, of course, you know what Avogadro's number is, 6.02 times 10 to the 23. And you also know the two-letter abbreviation for the International System of Measurement. Right here, you think of that as the measurement system that has prefixes like kilo and milli and centi, and base units like second, and of course the mole. One thing you want to keep in mind is that you have learned a lot of conversion factors, and some of these you will probably want to have on your 3x5 card that you can use for the test as notes. Things like 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams, or don't forget that a milliliter and a centimeter cubed are the same thing, and so that's a really handy conversion factor. Also, be sure you remember that you can use density as a conversion factor. So if the density is 11.34 grams per cubic centimeter, this is the density of lead. Well, that means that if you're talking about lead, 1 centimeter cubed of lead is 11.34 grams of lead. Useful to put that unit in there whenever you're using that conversion factor, because you need to remember that it's only for lead or whatever elements you happen to be working with. And don't forget that a mole is an animal that burrows in the ground, or a spot on your chin that you've got to shave around. But there's another kind of mole of interest to me. And your mole skills are getting really good. Let's go through some calculations here. So, can you convert kilograms of an element to moles? Well, here's how you would set this problem up. Of course, I put in the 4.5 kilograms, and then I'm going to focus on just the units. I want kilograms to cancel and grams to be my new unit of mass. Then here, I want grams of tin per mole of tin. So I substitute in the numbers that belong there. Where did I get this 118.7 grams of tin? Well, I just went to my periodic table and I found tin. There it is, right there, atomic number 50, 118.7. That's where this number comes from. That's the number of grams of tin in 1 mole of tin. And so, what did we get for the answer? Put that into your calculator, check it, pause the video. And of course, that's probably what you got for the answer, 38.0. That appears to be to 3 sig figs. If we only wanted 2 sig figs, you'd be leaving off this 0 right here. There we go. That's probably to 2 sig figs. Moving on to the next problem, problem number 5. Can you convert grams of an element to moles of that element? In this particular problem, we're dealing with calcium. And so you'll see here that we put in the thing, we started with the information we knew, and we put in our relationship that we want grams to cancel out and our final unit to be in moles. So those cancel out, and yes, the final unit is in moles of calcium, 20 divided by 40.08, and that's going to give you 0.499 to 3 sig figs. Good job. Moving on to question number 6. In question number 6, the question is, can you convert moles of any compound to atoms of the compound? Here we're dealing with the metal cobalt, and we want atoms of cobalt to cancel, and we want our relationship to change that to moles. So we simply do the division. Now, it's really important that you make sure you know how to do this problem on your calculator, because remember, a number of you, when we did this in class for quizzes and practice worksheets, remember there's a problem that if you came out with something like 10 to the 47th power or something like that, that's not right. What is the right answer? Well, it appears the right answer is 90.4 moles of cobalt. Make sure that's what you can get with your calculator when you have this problem. Problem number 7. Now, remember, this is where we've been starting, is looking to see, well, I want atoms to cancel in this case, and my unknown, I want to go to grams. Well, to do that, I'm going to have to go from atoms to moles and then to grams of potassium. So I'm going to have my atoms cancel here. Oops. Atoms cancel here, and I'm going to have this mole cancel with this mole so that I come out in grams of potassium. So what numbers go in here? Well, what is the relationship between moles of potassium and atoms of potassium? I hope it doesn't take you long to recognize that this is the relationship. 1 mole of potassium is 6.02 times 10 to the 23 atoms of potassium. And then we move here to say, well, 1 mole is, well, I need to go to the periodic table and find potassium. I just happen to know that potassium is right here, atomic number 19 on this left column, and its atomic mass is 39.10 right here, 39.10. And so that's what we're going to put